Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? I hope everybody's March is going beautifully and their flowers are popping up all around their houses and in their gardens. We have all of these wonderful little white blooms, hundreds of them all over the front of our house. I'm so excited. Spring is sprung. So this is researching the mystical world. For me, this means opening up opportunities to gain greater insight and understanding of all the synchronicities that can take place for us, all the limitless possibilities, all the hope-fueled moments where we just kind of gather our wits, our mystical wits, and we're curious about what else is out there, what else is a possibility for us, what artistic endeavor. Sometimes if I feel stagnant energy, I will go out and I will just observe things really, really intricately. It could be a leaf, it could be if I'm in a shop, how somebody has created, like yesterday I was transfixed by a watering can. It had all these beautiful paintings of birds and flowers on it, and it just transported me. It legit transported me to my mother's garden, and I thought, if I want to recapture some of these magical moments that our brain has the capacity to, file away for us, and then we just open it up and all this joy and memories spring forth, why aren't we researching more into this? I am blown away every single day when I hear the small percentage of our brains we actually use, and how sometimes when people take a bump on their head, sports injury or whatever, they can come out of it and all of a sudden play the piano beautifully. They're an awesome mathematician. What before was like incapacitated is just let loose, and it's another area of the brain. I'm fascinated by that. I feel like the brain is super mystical, but also it encapsulates our thoughts, and our reasoning brain says, okay, we have to be rational, we go to work, we eat, we do this and that, pretty much the basics, right? But what about that fantastic element of creativity and imagination and excitement and compassion and artistic endeavors and that rich, beautiful curiosity that pops up, that area of our brain? The mystical world holds so many beautiful secrets and revelations. Think of I remember starting to watch Harry Potter and all of those things, and I just thought, I bet there are some crazy cool little beings and animals out there we still haven't discovered. I sometimes, when I go to the park, I'll do this thing where I just stare at the water, I try not to blink, and then I've talked about this before, I can see little flashes of light everywhere. It looks like energy or atoms bouncing off each other, all twinkling. And if I'm moving quickly or just looking, I don't see that. But when I stop and I only focus on sort of nothing and everything, I always see those little pops of light. And I remember once out in my garden, it literally looked like it was taking on the form of little flying light insects or something. It was almost like little fairies, and I thought, that's fantastic. It's energy moving and being focused on that. So if you have a chance today, research something you're curious about, whether it's maybe sidereal astrology or something of that measure that brings a new understanding of all those components. And this is mentalizing emotional impressions next to this. Now, to me, this is, if I see something, it makes me feel a certain way. So then I want to investigate that. I want to apply logic to that. Why does just sitting on a beach bench when I'm just looking at the water and it's so restful and beautiful, why does that create peace for me? Why does that create a sense of wonder and, again, limitless and beauty and all of that? And for the most part, a lot of it brings me back to my childhood, my local beach that was just a couple steps away, and all the funny, crazy things that we did there. So when I think about that, I sort of secret that away in my mental data bank of beautiful emotions connected to beautiful environments. And then I tend to seek them out more. I tend to go to my beaches around here, to fields and things of that nature. Now, also, this could be the first time we meet somebody, right? Everybody forms some kind of emotional impression on us, whether it's oh wow, we're really attracted to them, they're really cool, a kindred, they make me laugh, they make me feel good about myself, or the opposite is true. What a cynical, weird, judgmental person, a no thank you, that sort of thing. And then I'll ask myself, why did I feel a certain way from somebody? And I'll go, oh yeah, they're very warm and comforting, like my aunt, whatever it is. And then we can sort of have a placement for that mental, that emotional connection. And then we can recognize patterns that bring us those good feelings, that make us get on a higher vibration, so on and so forth, and move in the direction that we would want to move in, as opposed to the opposite. And have you ever noticed each one is like the domino, and we got to be careful not to get caught in that maze? Say somebody cuts you off in traffic, and then your coffee spills in your car, and then you think the whole world is atrocious and everybody in it can just piss off. You know what I mean? Like a couple bad things happen, and then you think, and it's like, let's not let a bad moment turn into a bad day. So I quickly will adjust when anything happens. Like, and another thing, I was thinking of this the other day when it comes to that I am very fortunate in that I almost feel like I'm pre-guided to avoid certain circumstances. Like I'll have a recollection, oh, by the way, you left this in your bag, or you'll need that, and later I'll need it. Like whether it's chapstick or something, it's like my brain is always working to set me up for success later in the day, because sometimes I run lists through my head. This is where also writing things down can start to align you with all your wishes and the things you want to manifest. Writing it down is saying, my thoughts are important enough for me to capture on paper or on my phone or whatever. It is important. What I think is important, because what I think is going to lead me to behaviors, is going to lead me to beliefs, is going to create attitudes, and I want the best of that. So I love the energy of today. It's really fresh, it's really vibrant. So I hope you all have a great day, and that is what you're meant to hear today. Love and light.